2, 1.
You are listening to yet another episode of the Front Porch Anarchast. This one is coming to you from the front porch here on the Gray Homestead. And since it's from the front porch, you're going to hear a lot of animals. You probably hear a lot of birds. I hear a woodpecker in the background. Somebody up the valley on top of the hill is must be target practicing. I hope that they're not under attack. Not sure if you could hear that at all, but they started in again, and probably going to hear some dogs in the background. There was a pack of dogs or coyotes or something came through a little earlier this morning. I didn't get a good look at them because they stayed in the brush, but they were yelping and carrying on. I guess they were chasing rabbits. May even hear some of our own dogs in here. Gonna make this one a quick one though because I'm getting ready to go to work. Just having some breakfast out here on the homestead. Thought I would thought I'd spout off some lunatic rantings here real quick. Couple of things been on my mind. People talking about anarchy like it's a four-letter word, like it's just despicable, and that it would be utter chaos if we were living in anarchy, and it just can't happen. I tried to put some of those thoughts down on paper, and eventually I'll get those posted on the Facebook page, which is uh, what is it? The Front Porch Anarchast, or maybe just Front Porch Anarchast. I'll have to double check that. Don't hold me to it. Anyway, if you search for Front Porch Anarchast, you're gonna find it. Um, anyway, some of those thoughts I had about anarchy, um, they they surfaced when I was making a trip, a commute to work, and pulled off of a major highway onto a side street, which was not just a side street. It's like one of the main arteries there in town, and it's like 3 lanes going each way, and then there's a turn lane. There's 3 lanes going each way on the main street. The cross street, there's 2 lanes going each way, and then each of those have a turn lane. So it's a major intersection, and there's actually 3 intersections just right in a row. And when I pulled off of this major artery here, it goes north and south through town, I realized that the lights were out. I don't mean they were flashing or they were short or whatever. I mean they were totally dead, no light at all. And luckily it was during the day at least. And they went out just as soon when I pulled up to them is the light on my side was red, and then all of a sudden it just went black, and it was done. And you would think that at that point anarchy would set in. There's no police. Excuse me. There's no police, standing around to write tickets. There's no red light cameras, and you would think that people would just start going, willy nilly, and you would think that the main artery there would, since it had more lanes than the side street, the cross street, you would think that it would just that the people there would just take off and go, and that the people on the side street would never have a chance. But it was a little awkward there at the beginning. There were probably 5 or 6 cars in front of me, and it took a little while to get the momentum going. But what happened was spontaneous order out of chaos. No lights, no direction, no no police officers writing tickets or pointing at people telling who to go when. It was a perfect chance for people to do what they want to do when they want to do it, and just think about their own best interest. They're trying to get to work, and this was during the morning commute. They're trying to get to work. It would have been in their best interest just to go and not stop, and then the cross traffic would have just been screwed. But that's not what happened. It was a little iffy starting off, but not because people were looking out for their own best interest, but because it takes a lot of coordination to get that many lanes going, especially when you have there was a total of 4 turning lanes. But after about the third car, everybody was doing the right thing. There was nobody going through right in behind the person in front of them. Everyone was waiting their turn and going through. And that's without any kind of coercion. There wasn't anybody out there with a baseball bat or, pointing a gun or threatening to write tickets or threatening to take people to jail or raise people's insurance rates. No, people just, they genuinely wanted to do the right thing, and that's what they did. Um, you pulled up to the stoplight when it was your turn. You looked all around and basically made eye contact with as many of the people as you could, and then you waited to see, you waited for the person whose turn it was to go, and then the people that were queued up at that point, all of them would go. So in one direction, you would have, since there were 3 lanes and a turn lane, you would have 4 cars that went on one side, and then on the other side, those 4 cars would go. Um, and then on the cross streets, it would do the same thing. And it wasn't quick because everybody was having to come to a full stop, or mostly full stop. So it wasn't ideal, but I guess the lesson that I got from it is that anarchy isn't like the good old boy who been raised to believe that you go vote, and I'll probably not make any friends by this, but you go to church on Wednesday and Sunday, and then you go vote on election day, and you vote for your political party, and you go to the Western Sizzlin buffet on Friday nights, and you drink a little beer and mow your yard on Saturday, and then you go to church on Sunday morning and watch a football game Sunday evening. Then you go back to your 9 to 5, or more like 7 till 5, on Monday morning. Those guys have been taught to believe that anarchy is just, it's a terrible word, because for the system that they live in, it is a terrible word, because it takes power away from that system, and it's just something that they can't really even fathom. But I'm telling you, it can work, um, but it shifts the responsibility of doing the right thing to the individual, instead of letting an elected group of people tell you what to do. So yeah, it's a little more work. It's a little bit more. It's a little bit scary, but at the same time, um, anarchy, the absence of rulers, would really increase our freedom. And that's really about all I have time for today. It's probably more than anybody wanted to listen to, but just wanted to spout that out there before I get off on my commute. Um, Again, beautiful morning here on the homestead. A little bit of fog, but it's burning off as the sun slowly starts coming up over the ridge. I can just see some sun rays on the top of the trees down below the front porch here. Maybe I'll take a picture and post it. All right, thanks for listening, and I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope you'll listen. Maybe give me some feedback. Front Porch Anarchist on Facebook. Just look for us there. And also look for a fundraiser that we're going to be doing here shortly. We're trying to get ready for the winter, and we need some additional funds. The old job's not really cutting it, so we've got something that we think's exciting coming up. So check back with us.
We hope you enjoyed this broadcast of the Front Porch Anarchist. Like and share our page or send us a message at Front Porch Anarchist on Facebook.